He launches himself at her, but she weaves and starts taunting bro, calling him Uzi's fashion sense. Weak as hell. Meanwhile, the soldiers are walking Faora down, thinking they got a chance against her, not knowing the type of hands that they're about to receive. And there is nothing that can prepare them for what comes next. Look, I know that ever since Peak dropped, it's become more socially acceptable to hate on Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. But I'ma keep it a buck. I really like this movie. Wait, hold on. But giving it anything above a 7 out of 10 would be like calling Coi Leray a top 5 rapper. We both know that's just not true. However, one highlight of this movie was Faora Ul. She was an absolute menace throughout this whole flick, catching bodies left and right like she's Bonnie Blue. Not only that, but she's apparently well versed in the fighting style known as fight back nigga. You'll see what I mean in a second. But first, I'ma show you how we got here. So the first time we see Faora is when she's helping General Zod overthrow the Kryptonian Council. Apparently Krypton is gonna blow up in a few days, but instead of trying to save the planet, the council has just been sitting on their asses, discussing irrelevant topics such as Marshmallow's career post 2018. But as Zod's forces are threatening the council, this Hillary Clinton looking ass lady starts talking real tough to the armed soldiers, and as a result she gets incinerated, turned to dust on some Infinity War type timing. Meanwhile, this councilman is watching all this go down, wondering if he's still getting his paycheck, when Faora spawns in and throws him on the ground. Oh nah! This is the same shit female cops pull on you when you so much as raise your voice. And if you just so happen to be a couple inches taller than them,
you're done.
You're turning into a hashtag. But anyways, Zod's plan is to use this codex, which holds the genetic info of all Kryptonians, to save his planet, but at the cost of getting rid of any bloodlines he doesn't mess with. And he's trying to convince his scientist friend Jor-El to join him, but Jor does not mess with eugenics. So Zod orders his arrest. He escapes, steals the codex, and sends it away alongside his infant son. Baby Kal-El has no clue what this is. He probably thinks this shit's a chew toy or something. My son, use this to revive our race.
I'm just a baby.
My son, say some corny shit again and I will
Beat your motherfucking ass!
Zod gets word that someone's son is gonna get beat and pulls up to Jor-El's home to join in. However, he finds out that Jor-El is not on that Joe Jackson type timing, so he gets upset and fights him. Laura, who's Kal-El's mom, puts her son and the codex in the ship and launches them away, and Zod stabs Jor-El as revenge. Crazy how niggas will take your life over something your girl did. Like bro, I'll fight a man for you, but I won't fight a man for you. Anyways, Faora sees baby Kal's ship and her first thought is to shoot it down. I've seen enough, she'd fit right in with the IDF. Luckily, Krypton's council shuts that shit down immediately and sentences Zod, Faora, and the rest of his crew to the Phantom Zone. Zod is fiending for Kal and the Codex and he lets Laura know before he's locked away forever. But as soon as Krypton blows up, Zod's crew is freed from the Phantom Zone and they go searching for Kal-El. So yeah, that's all the context you really need to know. Let's get to the fighting. Now 30 years pass and Kal-El is all grown up, making him roughly half of Duke's age. Also heads up, I'm no longer calling him that. I'm just gonna refer to him as Clark. But anyways, he's back home watching football at his Earth mom's crib, when suddenly Zod pulls up to Earth in his ship and starts transmitting his message, interrupting all the TVs. Ain't no way bro's talking about some "you are not alone." Nigga think he MJ. Anything to avoid that American Eagle ad, I guess. So Zod tells Earth that we got 24 hours to give Clark up to them. With Earth at risk, you would think Clark would surrender himself immediately, right?
No, nigga!
Y'all are forgetting, this is the Snyderverse, and aura farming is much more important than saving lives. So important, in fact, that Clark puts on his finest drip before surrendering himself. I mean, bro got on the Balenciaga boots and everything. Bro could have thrown on some baggy jeans, Birkenstocks, and a flannel and called it a day, but whatever. Anyways, Faora is sent to escort Clark, and look how she looks bro up and down. I'm gonna be honest, if she looks at me like that, I'm overly going. I'm doing whatever she asks.
This is a sick Negro.
Superman's a better man than me, because when Faora demands to this Colonel guy that Lois comes to, Superman immediately turns on his Mr. Save-A-Ho shit. The Colonel guy then gets up in her face and is like, "You asked for the alien, not the human." And Faora does not like that one bit, so she's like,
"Shall I tell the General you're unwilling to comply?"
To which the Colonel responds with,
I don't care what you tell him.
Yo, what? Bro's got bigger balls than me. We can tell Faora is fighting demons to not send this nigga to the Hulk Hogan convention. Luckily, Lois chooses to go before things get worse. So on Zod's ship, Clark learns that Krypton blew up, and Zod wanted the Codex so he could use it to treat Earth like it's one of those homes and fixer-upper. Bro's really trying to demolish and renovate a planet. Obviously, Clark isn't letting the entire Earth be gentrified, so he decides not to help Zod, and he and Lois escape the ship. Zod, Faora, and some randoms pull up to Ma Kent's farm and start demanding to know where the ship Clark arrived from is. They thinking they'll be able to cop the Codex, but Clark's mom is holding it down and starts clowning Zod for his chopped-ass haircut. Shit looks worse than KD's. Faora does not appreciate her dissing her Pookie's haircut, so she chokes Ma Kent and lifts her off the ground. Unfortunately, Martha sells the bag by staring directly at the shed where the ship is hidden. So Faora hits a LeBron-type vertical and searches it for loot the same way I did in Fatal Fields back in the day. But she finds that the Codex isn't in the ship at all. The ship is empty. In fact, the whole shed is empty. Los Pollos must have confused this place for a fridge and went all out. This pisses off Zod and he starts yelling at Martha threateningly with his hot-ass breath, which Clark sniffs out, and he tackles the hell out of Zod, breaking through these water towers. Careful now, Clark. We're trying to save lives, not end them. Anyways, the two of them land at 7-Eleven, ready to throw hands. But Zod's mask gets damaged, and he starts tweaking out. He starts seeing and hearing everything all at once, going through the exact opposite of what Helen Keller went through. And it gets so bad that he starts stumbling around. Niggas will walk up to you and ask, "Do I look high, bro?" while walking around like this. So Clark starts clowning bro for his low tolerance. But Zod's forces pull up in a ship and beam Soups in the chest. Thing 1 and Thing 2 walk out the ship to collect Zod, and Zod starts yelling as if he didn't just lose all his aura. Bro, you are not intimidating. Not even 5 seconds ago, bro was acting like he was forced to watch Ironheart. Quit playing dead and get back up. Now the ship flies away and Superman stares it down, celebrating like he just won the Super Bowl, talking about some, "Yeah, you better run." However, he looks straight ahead and sees none other than Faora Ul and this dude right here that's built like Shaq. And peep the size difference between these two. They got that Kai and Duke type of height difference. Clark is feeling confident though, so he starts walking towards them. And for the first time, bro shows actual concern for civilian life. In terms of the Snyderverse, this is more rare than Youngboy dropping decent music. The Colonel and some US soldiers are sniffing out this battle like sharks sniffing out blood. And so they pull up with choppers and 2 A-10 Warthogs, fully kitted out and armed to the T. With zero regard for the life of the townspeople, the Warthogs start spraying, and although Superman and Faora dodge them, one of the bullets beams Big X the Plug in the chest, launching him mad far. I know Vegeta got hella experience being thrown around like this. However, all things considered, this is terrible news for the Kryptonians. If these so-called godlike beings are being hurt by 30mm bullets, all you gotta do is send like 3 missiles and a tank at them and it's GG's. The military don't even need Superman. They got this in the... I spoke too soon. And what the hell is this thing doing, jumping around like he's the Hulk? If a nigga that makes Wemby look like DDG starts playing Leapfrog and launches himself at me, I'm skedaddling out of there. No questions asked. Unfortunately, this Kryptonian Hulk didn't even let bro get the chance. So bro gets done like Kobe. As for the other pilot, Faora nearly pulls the same thing, but the pilot is saved by Superman, and the two Kryptonians crash into an IHOP. But Faora must have not been feeling them Cinestack pancakes, cause she punches Clark to the ground, feeding him straight concrete instead. Them shits must have tasted like Russell Westbrook's jump shots, straight bricks. He launches himself at her, but she weaves and starts taunting bro, calling him Uzi's fashion sense weak as hell. He swings, block, 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 then eats a nasty punch to his face. But hold on there just a second. I do not remember Faora's fist being part of the menu. Superman flies at her again, is caught, choked out, and slammed to the ground.
And if history has proven anything,
she says while throwing him into this bank,
it is that evolution always wins.
Well, evolution this! Superman starts throwing her around like a ragdoll, but Faora dodges his ground pound, and before he can fly into her, Namek, yes, that's his name, spawns in from out of the blue, pulls him by the feet, and feeds him a second serving of pavement. Then he throws him to the ground again, and he and Faora hit this nasty combo, leaving Soup slumped. This is some shit you'd only see in Predator catching videos. We gotta start giving whoever bought Lil Tay's OnlyFans the same treatment. By the way, for all the non-Minecraft YouTubers who are asking why this whole situation was even allowed to happen, Kanye explained it best. I know it's pervs, all on the net. Speaking of violent crimes, Faora is currently putting belt to ass on Superman. I told y'all, she's a master of jumping. Luckily, a contingent of soldiers enter the town, ready to take down a Kryptonian. Don't worry, Superman, these guys have it under control. Meanwhile, Superman is being dragged on the road and bounced off the pavement. Faora rushes in to get some licks in, but is tripped, and Supes narrowly avoids Namek's foot. He decides now is the perfect time to retreat, but Namek is like, "Where you going, nigga?" Hits him with the dark side cape pull and forces him back into the fade. Faora is fiending to get a hit off, but Namek is moving like Kobe, keeping the ball for himself. But finally, Supes is able to fly off, but not before Faora grabs onto his cape. Namek, not far behind, shows off his LeBron-type vertical and narrowly misses slamming Superman again. However, Faora grabs him by the face and Namek by the neck, but before they can end the fight, Supes beams the both of them back. The soldiers finally catch up and are given orders to attack every Kryptonian present, including Superman. Hey, we moved on from racism against other humans to racism against aliens. Y'all Indian niggas can breathe easy again. Unfortunately for Clark, that means the US is pouring all these resources trying to off him, but ask them to spend those same resources on important shit like improving healthcare or keeping Ice Cube out of movies that require good acting, and all of a sudden they want to drag their feet.
But anyway,
The choppers pull up and start airing out the street on some J. Cole shit. The US military heard that one verse from No Role Models and were like,
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
and so Superman gets domed in the skull, got him admiring the sky. Namek throws a truck at the helicopter, destroying its wing and causing one of the soldiers to fall out. But Superman actually does his job and saves bro. I never thought I would see the day. This shit is so beautiful. Are you okay? Oh! Holy shit, bro, where did you come from?
get him the fuck out of here. Get him the, please.
This guy who just got saved is not grateful at all. Instead of giving Superman callouts, he just lets him eat a right hook from Namek. And a little farther out, the other helicopter crashes, but the Colonel survives, probably gaining a bad case of CTE. But it's all good though, cause Antonio Brown's probably been through worse. Meanwhile, the soldiers are walking Faora down, thinking they got a chance against her, not knowing the type of hands that they're about to receive. And there is nothing that can prepare them for what comes next. As soon as they fire, she jumps 80 feet into the air, lands, hits a pose for the IG, then rocks the mess out of bro right here, moving into an elbow to the guy on the left, then grabs this goon and his homeboy by the neck and throws them at 2 others. 3 others continue firing, but she speed blitzes them, one by one, moving like Omni-Man, then throws this piece of debris at some others for good measure. Now while Superman is locked in this ISO with Namek, the Colonel on the helicopter spots Faora and without any hesitation grabs an SMG and Mac dumps her ass. But like 1350 abusers ignoring the black exoneration rate, she ignores the bullets and jumps closer to him. But what did Lotto say?
I don't trust no man without no blicky.
And apparently the Colonel took that shit to heart, cause he pulls out the Glock and lights her up, but to no avail. She even starts smirking at bro, which is insanely disrespectful. On the other side of town, Namek is currently being used as a Kryptonian punching bag and is being thrown around like a football, but Faora has not a single care in the world. In her mind, this 1v1 is much more important than whatever the hell is going on over there. Out of options, bro whips out the combat knife, thinking he's fighting Tory Lanez, and he's prepared to go out like a dog. And you know what? Faora honors his fighting spirit by pulling out a knife of her own and hits him with this one-liner.
A good death has its own reward.
The Colonel then proceeds to lunge at her first. Dog was fully prepared to throw hands with a demigod. Bro was on that timing. However, Superman spots someone out aura farming him and quickly tackles Faora to shut that shit down. This breaks her mask and she starts tweaking out too. I promise you bro, you do not need the Benjamin that bad. But she continues talking her shit, threatening to kill 1 million humans.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
The way she's moving, she got more genuine disdain for humans than that Cue My Music nigga has for school children. In every TikTok I've seen of him, he has threatened to bully kids for the crime of wearing Shaqs to school. Like God forbid an 8-year-old doesn't have the same fashion sense as Cardi. Mind you, this is a grown man we're talking about, by the way. Anyway, Superman is getting ready to dip, but this bus spawns in from the heavens and crashes straight into him. On her end, Faora gets hit with a whole ass Call of Duty kill streak, knocking her out. However, the Warthogs get shot down and Namek picks up Faora and dips, ending the fight. And at the end of the day, the US soldiers forget all about their racism against Superman and he finally gets accepted as an ally. But yeah, even though Superman got fed a Mickey Mouse victory, Faora was the real MVP of this fight. But maybe we'll see more terrifying villains like her in the future.
Smooth color, smooth color, that's on me. Oh, yeah, we was in the back.